Welcome to Donny's Liberation Day. Yes, it's April the 2nd, the day after April Fool's Day, for obvious reasons. Yeah, he did think about it, but then he decided that maybe they wouldn't take it seriously, because it would have been April the 1st. But yes, today is April the 2nd, and a Liberation Day, where reciprocal tariffs are going to be imposed on importers. So yes, look forward to all your products increasing in cost. Considering you're not an autarky, no, not at all. You do not produce what you consume. Well, not all of it, no. Well, you see, this Liberation Day reminds me, it does, of Independence Day. When the White House got blew up. Oh, let's hope. Oh, maybe one day. Well, Donald Trump is still the president dum-dum of the United States. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, you see, Liberation Day is imposing tariffs on other countries importing goods. Now, you think, maybe they'll increase production in the United States. And it will do to some degree, but the losses will outweigh the gains. You see, many companies are saying, okay, well, we're not going to build a factory in the United States, no, because we've already got a factory. And the cost of building this factory comes into, well, many millions or billions of dollars to do. And then we've still got to import the materials that we use, because the United States don't necessarily have what we need. And then you've got car manufacturers in the United States who, quite frankly, they import, export. Yes, components of your cars, what you think are American cars, they're imported and exported. Several times they go across that border, generally to either Mexico or Canada, several times. That ain't going to bode well, you see. Some goods, like for instance what happened in the United Kingdom with the BMW Mini, a cylinder head would go across the channel 5 times, and then we had Brexit because a load of stupid people put the cross in the wrong box that they did, just like you did voting Donny in November last year. 2024. Stupid people. You know how it goes, stupid is as stupid does, and there's plenty of stupid people in the United States. Unfortunately, decent people, or half-decent people, those who didn't vote for Donald Trump are also going to be hit with all this. Sort the flippin' voters who voted for that bloomin' moron, well, you deserve it. I suppose you're all taking flippin' orange pills just to be like Donny, your messiah, but he's not the messiah, he's just a naughty little boy. He's a fucking idiot, but he is. Well, you see, now, he thought it was a great idea that he did. Oh, no, not Donny. No, not Donny. No, the tariffs. No. It was the US Treasury Secretary who basically advised Donald Trump. So he said, Europe, they're a bit nasty to us. Yeah, they're imposing tariffs on us and that, you see. And so we're going to, you think you should impose tariffs. Yeah, they're trying to attack us. They're trying to destroy us. It's Europe. What a load of bollocks. It really is. You see, we in the Europe, in the EU, we still want to export to the United States, so why would we want to screw the United States and damage our market? That is idiotic. Just like China, why would China want to do that? Europe and the United States, massive buyers of Chinese products. It's no good crippling the country you're selling to because you won't be able to sell anything. So they won't have no money. And that's what these tariffs are going to do to you. You're going to think twice when you buy stuff, and you're going to look at it and think, oh, crikey, what? Last week is 100 quid, and now it's 125. Depending on the tariff, because reciprocal tariffs will depend on what we're charging you. Now, the thing where it gets a little bit tricky, in little Tricky's head, the old Donny Trumps, well, he says, we are also going to impose the tariff based on your VAT, not just if you're charging us tariffs. No, VAT. Well, VAT is around 20-odd%, you see, depending on whereabouts you are, but generally around 20-odd%. Now, the thing about value-added tax, or the TVA, which is what's it called here in France, well, that's not an unfair tax, because every single country, including every single business inside the country, has to charge VAT or value-added tax or TVA. So how is it unfair? So he's going to base these tariffs on VAT. That makes no sense at all. In fact, it makes unfair him doing so. As it does. It's not a reciprocal tariff. No. It's not giving unfair advantage to any manufacturers anywhere in the world. No. Because everyone's having to pay the same. Anyway. Just like me, my taxes here. I have to pay taxes in France. Oh my God. Taxation systems here are complicated and unnecessarily complicated, quite frankly, and expensive. But everyone has to pay the same. We're all under the same umbrella. So, you know, competition-wise, although while I'm doing this, YouTube be like, well, I don't suppose it makes a lot of difference. But, you know, I still have to pay taxes, just like anybody. No. I wanted to go charge me tariffs on exporting my face into the United States. Oh, ain't you lucky? Anyway. So, thing is, we need to look into the future now. That we do. Because the future is going to... It's going to explain to us, it's going to show us the effects of these tariffs and how the world economy will shift, it will change. You'll get some manufacturers, okay, then we'll build a factory, or maybe they've already got a factory in the United States, maybe they'll up their production. But you see, this isn't actually going to bode well, especially in the short term or in the long term, because all talkies are not, they're not great places to be. No. Where you're trying to produce everything that you are actually using yourselves, it doesn't give you variety. And when you consider that these tariffs are also going to be imposed on foodstuffs, etc., etc., it limits your... you're just going to be eating Twinkies, all right? You're just going to be eating shitloads of Twinkies. No, you aren't. You've got no eggs. By the way, we've got shitloads of eggs, yeah. I had an egg sandwich this morning for breakfast. I did. Oh, 2 eggs, yeah. Oh, sunny side up and all that, you know. Lovely. Oh, and they're lovely free-range. Oh, sorry, am I rubbing it in? Oh, maybe. Well, you see, it's going to reduce your investment. Tariffs will reduce investment because that's how they're already reacting. Businesses are already reacting because it's all very well putting out in tariffs, but let's say, for instance, next week Donald Trump decides to remove the tariffs. What? We've just made commitments, and now we didn't need to. Can you see how this is going to bode? It's not going to... It's about trust, you see. Stability. It's about having... an environment where you can invest in that you feel secure, you feel safe. Not under Donald Trump, it's erratic. It's almost as erratic as his hairdo. They're flecking all over the place. Or the stencils he uses around his eyes to stop the spray tan going in. Now, it's just... The other sad thing is it doesn't open up the United States to culture. You know, food and what have you from other countries, and give people options and opportunities to try other stuff. No, you're just going to be eating Big Macs. That's pretty much it from now on. You're just going to be eating Big Macs. Now, other countries, such as within the European Union, for instance, 27 plus member states, 27 member states plus obviously part of the EEA and all that. Well, the EU is saying, well, let's keep calm for now. They will react accordingly, but they're not going to react like Donald Trump would react. For a variety of reasons. One is, let's see how it pans out, because Europe does not... especially, United Kingdom, for instance, which obviously is not, the UK is not in the EU anyway at the moment, but it's still in Europe, but it's not in the EU. Now, they've also said they're going to keep calm and react with some diligence, due diligence. Obviously, you see, if you all of a sudden slam the United States with tariffs, Donald Trump is going to react again and is going to increase the tariffs even more. I think you're just going to have to suck it up and pay more money. This isn't stopping trade, it's just making everything more expensive. Manufacturers abroad will still carry on supplying the United States. They might sell less, but they'll still be supplying the United States. Meanwhile, they'll be looking for new markets, and there are other markets to be had. The only thing is, I suppose, you get the issues of when you want to send to alternative markets, you've got to send to more than one, because the United States is a massive economy. There's no getting away from that. I can't remember what the GDP was, around 25 to 30 odd trillion GDP. Europe is around 17. The UK is about 2.7. So if you can start selling to smaller economies, well, then you can't send a lot all at once, and it makes it more efficient to do so. So we might be looking at smaller economies around the world to be able to distribute our goods to, but in smaller quantities, if you know what I mean. Now, many places, you see, are crying out for European goods and foodstuffs. We just send them to the United States because it's easier. Now, also, you've got to look to the fact that you might get a manufacturer. Well, we were selling to the United States, but now there's this, argument's sake, a 20% tariff on our goods. Maybe it's only 10% tariff, depends on what the reciprocal is. Now, let's say it's 20%, all right? Now, okay, then, it's a 20% tariff. It's going to reduce our sales in the United States. Why don't we increase the attractiveness of our product in Europe, for instance? Let's bring the price down to let's bring it down 10%. We would have to pay. There would have to be a 20% tariff, reducing the amount of sales in the United States. Remember, they pay tariffs, so it's basically a tax paid by the buyer, and they might not actually buy so much, but they might carry buying as much. Well, then you just don't bother. You just carry on as you are. Hence, keep calm and carry on, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, so they could be quids in anyway, and it gives them different opportunities. So they'll look at new markets, which, in my mind, it's better to have more strings to your bow, more spokes in the wheel. Because if one of them spokes break, in this case, the whole wheel's broken, effectively, in the United States. But if one spoke breaks, say, for instance, you lose a market in Norway or Denmark or somewhere else in the world, well, you can cope with that. But losing the United States, for some businesses and some industries across the world, and in the EU, for instance, they will collapse, or potentially could collapse, if they can't find these new markets. So they've got to think outside the box. They've got to think of new ideas, new ways of upping their game. So in some ways, Donald Trump's tariffs is going to change the world economy and the way that we trade in a good way, but not necessarily for the United States. No, it will ostracise you. It just will. And make everything more expensive. It just will. That's the way I see it anyway. After all, tariffs are a tax. Now, some car manufacturers, like for instance Ford, are struggling. Tesla, for instance, well, they would be doing quite well if you didn't have Elon Musk at the helm. Say, the Musk boycott is destroying Tesla. And they would have seen massive uptick of sales otherwise because of these tariffs, especially the pre-tariff sales. That's all going to calm down, obviously. Like I say, it's gone up by 16.7% car sales in the United States in last month, pre-tariff car sales. But that's going to calm down now because now there's going to be the tariffs. So anyone who wants a European car, such as Mercedes, BMW, or what have you, well, they're going to have to make different plans from now on. Anyway, you tell me what you think. Please boot the old like button. And please reply down below. Is Donald Trump an absolute blithering idiot who's painted orange? I need to know. I just need to know what your opinion is. It's very important, Yeah. And also, if you want to support the channel, All Shorts channel, you can do that on Patreon or Buy Us Coffee. There's also the super thanks down below as well. That is really appreciated. I could not do this channel without your support. I just couldn't. I'd have to get a proper job. And besides, we've got dogs to feed, and the missus. Anyway, please leave the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel, little bell icon, because then you get one fast feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. But for now, toodaloo and love to the family.